Hi, my name is Nev. I'm a teacher in Sydney at Blackwattle Bay at a government school. This video is about running a Visual Basic project from within Visual Studio, putting that up onto GitHub and modifying changes. Let's have a quick look at the GitHub page. There are 14 commits so far. Let's just have a look at the very last commit. And in there we've added in some quite dodgy code to validate the gender field in our little exe file. This format of GitHub allows the quick view of changes. To date also, if I look in releases, there are 4 releases. Now the last release, let's say this version 6.1 release, there was an error in the version 1.6. I beg your pardon, 1.6. I'm getting my things back to front. So if I compare that version to version 1.6, it shows here that I had an error in my code where I was changing the check paid text value instead of the value of the checkbox, which is the checked value, and that was repaired in the 1.6.1 version. So looking at those changes, using those comparisons is very useful. I know that I'm hopping around here a little bit. Let's just download this. Yep, let's look at our releases again. Let's download this version here. There are 3. I'm going to download the exe. Of course, my browser is not going to be happy about downloading exe files, but as I wrote it, I know that it's safe. So we will have to run anyway. Okay, so this one I think is the fixed one. Yes, that's version 1.6.1. And let's run the other one, which is 1.6. Down here, we will keep it, we will run it, and we will ignore that warning. It's a very valid warning. You should never download exe files that you don't know. Alright, Fred, nerd, is born on the 1st of the 1st. This is going to automatically put in 2020 for the year. The gender at this stage could be anything. I'm going to say they are a Y. The average mark must be a number. I can put anything in here for the phone number. It's not validated yet, so I can not finish it. And they're paid. Enter. Oh yes, sorry. Tab and enter. And it enters it, but it has, instead of clearing the checkbox, it has changed the name there to false. Okay, let's go and check our other one. This is version 1.6, which I can't quite get to. Version 1.6. Alright, so here we've got Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse. Also born on the 1st of the 1st, because it's easy. Mickey Mouse is it should really, obviously, Mickey Mouse is a male. Okay, we'll do the right thing. 23. Also, there's a complete phone number, paid, tab. Now, when I enter Mickey, I think that is repaired. Yes, it has cleared the checkbox, and the label for the checkbox has remained the same as paid. So just looking back at GitHub once more, when I look at the 1.6.1, here we go, we can compare that to 1.6, and we see that changing that text box there from text to checked, it was what allowed that to be fixed. Okay, let's look at our current changes. In Visual Studio, I have just entered this code here, which I showed you early on. In the latest commit, it comes up as green. Okay, let's run this, and I think I'll run it from GitHub. Let's go and have a look at the latest version, which is 1.7. Hang on, releases, and 1.7. Let's download, and yes, we have to keep, and we have to run. Come on. Okay, here we go. More info. Run anyway. This is saying here 1.7. I'm just going to go any old rubbish here. First of the first. Now, this gender is going to be something wrong. Okay, average mark 23. Some phone number. Again, I can put anything in there. Paid. Add student. Oh, and it's working. It's telling me that I must enter an M or an F. So that's okay. According to my code, that should be right. Let's have a quick look at the code for a minute. We've said I'm going to use fetch the ASCII codes. Now the E that I put in there was none of those ASCII codes, and therefore we went through here. We showed that message box. Please enter an M or an F, and we changed the focus back to gender, so that when I come back to here, you can see my focus is in gender. Alright, so let's try M and add student, and you can see it hasn't worked, but my focus is still in gender. How about I try F? It still hasn't worked, but the focus is still in gender. If I try an uppercase M, it hasn't worked. Okay, if I try an uppercase F, it does work. It enters the uppercase F, so there's something wrong with my code. What do we do when we've got dodgy code and it's not giving the results we want? Oh yes, I know. We desk check it. Here we go. My students just love desk checking. Let's have a quick look here. So there's my dodgy code. If I put in a letter other than E, it works. Other than sort of MF, uppercase, lowercase, it works fine. We saw that it brought up the message, it shifts the focus, and it exits the subroutine. Let's have a quick look at this. It exits the subroutine before it has a chance to enter this dodgy data into the array and clear the fields. So, okay, let's go back and have a look at the next. If we've got a lowercase m, oh, we've got a problem. It gets through all of that and then it still goes to the focus and exits the subroutine. That's no good. Here, if it's a lowercase f, yes, it still shifts the focus and exits the subroutine. That's no good. Uppercase M, no good. Uppercase F, and it should work fine. So if I went back to my code here and I deleted that there, delete, and I delete this here, and I delete that there, then maybe my code should work. Let's save all that. Let's go to our Team Explorer because this is all linked up. Let's have a look at the home page, see if there are any changes. Oh yes, there's a change in Form 1. And I also made a small change to the index file as well. So let's make a comment here. Fixed, so it's VB form. Fixed validation code. Well, we hope so anyway. I haven't run it. And we also did HTML small change. Okay, let's commit all and sync. Cross our fingers and see if that goes up. Oh, it's going to download a whole lot of other things from OneDrive. The reason I'm using OneDrive is because I use this on several machines, certainly the classroom machine, my laptop at work, and my desktop in the staff room. So the OneDrive is fantastic because I can see all the changes immediately on any machine that I go to. Now that is successfully synchronized. Let's go look here at our repository. We're now up to 15 commits. Let's go and have a look at those commits. Fixed the validation code, and you can see the pink there. That's what we deleted, and we now just have these here. Alright, let's go back and just see whether this actually runs properly. I'm going to run it here now, and I have not given this a version number. At the moment that's 1.7, but let's just have a look. Date of birth 1st of the 1st, gender, I'm going to say H is the gender, average mark 2, right, a couple of numbers in there, and it is not letting me do H. I didn't get a message. Where's my message gone? Add student. Ah, here we go. There's my message. Alright, I'm going to change that to M, and it works. Now I could check it again for F, lowercase and uppercase MF, and I think that will work. Now what I should do is just change the version number on this form. Let's just go to the form and change that version number to 1.7.1 because I've just made a little patch here. So that's 1.7.1. I'm going to save that. Let's have a quick look at the HTML. I just made that extra change there. Links to the releases are, and I'm going to put under here not done yet. So I've made a slight change as well to my HTML file. By the way, let's just have a quick look. That was my hosted site before my last commit. Then I did the commit, and now we can see that it's put up the links to the releases. If I refresh this after the next commit, we should see the extra lines there. Okay, so let's go back to there. Let's go back to Visual Studio. We're in Team Explorer. Let's go home. Changes. We should see a change to our form. Yes, our VB form and our index. Okay, so VB form, repaired validation code, HTML, minor change. Oops. Okay, let's commit all and sync. Yes, we want to save changes. That's the index change which I hadn't saved. Okay, notice there was an asterisk beside that index change. It is pushing the changes up to the current branch, and that is successful. Let's go and have a quick look. We can see, let's refresh this. 24 seconds ago the index was changed. Let's go into the project file here. Form 1 was changed 34 seconds ago. We didn't change any elements on the form, so we didn't change the actual form. We just changed the code behind the form. So that was all that was pushed up. Okay, so what I really want to do now is create another release. So I'm going to find my code. Okay, my code is sitting in OneDrive. Because I'm in the Department of Education, that's the name. I can't change that for the root directory of my OneDrive. I have a Git directory. You can see here I didn't do my filing very well for my last project. This project I'm going to do all my filing inside my folder here. So here's my master file, and my exe is inside the bin folder and the debug folder. Okay, that's my exe. Just going to throw that over to the side there for a minute, and I'm going to go here to releases. In fact, I'll throw that over here. I'm going to draft a new release. This version is going to be version 1.7.1 because I have a patch on here. So I'm going to do a v 1.7.1 validation patched, and whoops, I can't see because of my cursor. CTCH validation patched. That'll do. I could describe this in detail. Had an error. Whoops. Okay. And now all I have to do is drag my new exe file into that box. So there it is. I'm ready to publish that. And alright, let's actually download it. 1.7.1. Let's download it from here. Okay, maybe it's going to let me run. Yes, more info, run anyway. And okay, oh, I forgot to change the number on the form. Okay, so I'm going to have to fix that later. I thought I did do that. Anyway, let's see that if it runs. The reason I do 1/1 is it has to be a date, otherwise it'll crash this whole thing. Let's do a wrong gender, and we'll leave it unpaid, and enter. Please enter M or F. This time I will enter an F. I might enter an uppercase M. Hey, uppercase M, and add student. There it is, working fine. So that's releases, and checking it. Oh, let's just do a comparison, right? Let's compare 1.7.1 with 1.7, and we should see. It's not a. Oh, yes, it is. There it is. It's bringing up the changes between those two releases. Isn't that amazing? Now it's also bringing up the changes in the index.html. Oh, we better check that. Hey, here's our home page, hosted home page. Let's if we refresh that, we get the extra change that we made to the HTML page. Alright, let's finish while we're ahead. Thank you.